Slurping coffee. Take a breath. Well, we're leaving LA. We made the decision, you co-create with God. But it's difficult, it is challenging. So, here we are. We made the decision to leave LA after 30 years in the States, 15 years in Los Angeles. It's bittersweet. Over the next few weeks, I'll take you on a journey through our neighbourhood, keep you involved in the move, and we're transitioning back to Sydney, Australia. I haven't lived there since, I don't even know, late 80s or early 90s or something. The positive news is that it's a fresh start, and that can't be too bad. We have a level of optimism and positivity. I've been cranky and pretty annoying to be around, probably, because it's just, I feel overwhelmed a little bit. There will be a few takeaways in this video. I know that everyone's teaching on social media to do the hook and the takeaways and all this sort of stuff, which I find, again, I've said it before, it's all kind of bullshit. I'd rather just talk and get to know you, and you get to know me in an honest, authentic and organic way. Right? I'm 55 years old, married, 3 kids. Eldest is in college already, fully self-sufficient. The last 2 years, I've worked in TV production for my whole life, 38 years. And the last 2 years in Los Angeles anyway, and I think a lot of places from friends I hear from in London, etc. The TV business as a whole has taken a massive dump. So for us as a family, we haven't had a good at all regular, like not regular at all, income for 2 years, pretty much. Yeah, 2 years. After 2023, when I finished filming a documentary in Europe, that was in June. So pretty much after June 2023, I didn't work. I've worked a few bits and pieces here and there. So when you live in Los Angeles with kids, etc., everything's dwindled, and so I'm in debt and no savings are gone. So the pressure has been really mounting. We've had many weeks where unemployment benefits ran out many months ago. We had food stamps that ran out many months ago. So we had a few really emotional moments where we couldn't get food. We've been supported by certain friends and certain family. Really incredible. But the cost of living and the cost of doing just the monthly minimum is too high, so that just is unsustainable. And yes, many weeks of turning up to the grocery store and just maybe getting a packet of pasta or something. So, and I understand the paradigm of there's many people in the world who are really struggling, so I'm aware everyone's path is different, and my struggle is not the same as someone else's struggle, so I get that. But as you know, I've been with Agape International Spiritual Center for about 10 years studying, developing a spiritual practice. And so this move has been on the cards for the last couple of years. We've been trying to think about it. Can we stick around? Can we stick it out for the kids, for their schools, etc., etc.? Well, this last few months we've said, no, we probably can't. And then recently I was thrown a little bit of a potential lifeline, with someone reaching out and asking if I could do a project for potentially 12 months. So that looked like, oh, right, okay, Spirit doesn't want us to leave yet. Well, that project didn't eventuate. That went to someone else. So the signs have always been directing us to making that decision and leaving LA. It's a big upheaval for the kids, and my son's just graduating in grade 12 now, and this has been his home. He's pretty much the only home he's known. And so it's tough. And then our youngest, she's graduating grade 10. We've been very honest and open about all of it. which helps. But anyway, we'll get through that. The move was proving to be very stressful. Again, we didn't have a dollar to our name, and so Sydney's expensive, but we have support there. So we're just trying to figure it out and how can we do it. And last Sunday, so 7 days, four days ago. So it's May 22nd now. So Sunday, I don't know what it was, the 18th or something of May 2025, I went to Agape 6 a.m. meditation practice. Very powerful meditation with Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. And my friend Andrea took me. We came home. Andrea bought us groceries. And as we had a great conversation about surrendering, Andrea and I. Said goodbye to Andrea, came upstairs and was about to cook breakfast, and I got the loudest call I've ever had. I think the most clearest call from Spirit that I've had since I wrote my book 10 years ago. Spirit said to me, let go of your ego, drop it, drop all the bullshit. And I was like, wow, it's so clear. I've been praying for that. That's been my prayer for the last 10 years, to surrender. Surrendering is not giving up. Surrendering is shedding all the bullshit. And so I heard that. And then I heard, because I'm freaking out about money, start a GoFundMe or a crowdfunding campaign. It was clear. A good friend of mine, James, I think I've spoken about this before. James said, God will come as a whisper, or Spirit will come as a whisper, or a big slap in the head. Be ready. So the message from Spirit was loud and clear. It couldn't have been clearer. And then I texted Andrea and said, I've just got this download saying I should start a crowdfunding campaign. He said, I just heard the same thing. And at the same time, I was looking at LinkedIn with this guy from Australia talking about male suicide. A famous footballer had just committed suicide. And I was thinking, well, the pressure on I'll speak for myself, on men in general who are of a certain age and above, the societal pressure to be the provider, to have a certain amount of money, etc., is huge. And most men won't speak up about things. Most people don't, but most men generally. And so I sent a message to this chap and I said, oh man, I feel you. I've been on the edge. I've been on the edge myself many times. And I support whatever programs, whatever initiatives we need to do to stop this, because most people call it mental health. It's not mental health, it's spiritual health. Mental health is saying that there's something wrong with you. There's not anything wrong with, generally, people of a certain age who are doing that because they're driven to something so severe, so extreme, by complete overwhelming pressure. So right at that point, I decided I'm going to start this crowdfunding campaign. Spirit spoke to me clearly, and I did it. I published it. I was naked to the world. As soon as I went to publish it on social media, I felt dread. I was struck with dread. I didn't want to do it. So anyway, that's the story. I did it, and the support has been overwhelming. I put a target down of $55,000 US. I mean, it'd be great if we could receive 70 or something, just to give us the runway, flights, removal us, the runway in Sydney to have a few months, or 3 to 6 months of rent paid, food, so I can get situated, get the kids in. So I reached out, and the support has been phenomenal. If GoFundMe ever want to do a campaign, I'll plug them so much. It's such a phenomenal, cosmically linked system of people supporting people. Again, the dollar amount doesn't matter. If it's $1, $100, $1,000, $100,000, $1 million, it doesn't matter. It's the energy of the exchange and the community spirit. Like, it's phenomenal. Talk about oneness. People have been sending messages. It's now Thursday. We started it Sunday afternoon, Thursday, May 22nd. We started it 4.5 days ago. It's at $25,000. So I mean, it's phenomenal. Like, I've been very emotional about it. I'm so grateful. I've always shown up to be of service and serve and be the best beneficial presence I can be, because that's what I want. It's not because I have to, because that's how I've wanted to be. So I get it. I'm in full receivership. I'm receiving the love. I'm owning the love. I'm receiving it. So I'm so grateful. So I'll continue with updating you on the journey. It's a big journey. We've got all this stuff to move. Just to give you a quick précis, we moved to LA about 15 years ago. And our kids grew up here, and it's been a very mild, modest life. We've never been in a financially overly abundant position. We've only ever had one tiny little car. I'm talking in terms of Western stuff. We've always lived in an apartment, a very nice apartment. We were lucky. I found a beautiful apartment near the school. So we spent 10 years in the one home where the kids could walk 3 minutes to the little primary elementary school. So we had 10 years in that stable environment. Then we moved to this place, which was close to the high school. And we've had 4 years in this apartment. Wonderful landlord, beautiful light. Very, very, very blessed. We've had a very blessed life. And even though it seems like there's turmoil, we've had a good 15 years of stability for my children. And again, we never really went on holidays. We didn't really have the finances to. We never really ate out for dinner that much. We just kept it very low key. And but the kids all played soccer. They played club soccer. They met wonderful friends. We've met some wonderful, beautiful people, lifelong friends. Excuse me. I met one of my greatest mates here, Joel Bergfull, and his wife on the playground at school in kindergarten 15 years ago. The man's a genius, and he went on to hire me and changed my life. And I stopped being a cameraman and started directing and then executive producing, and Joel was a big part of that. That was a big emergence for me, putting down the camera, which is a tool, a prop to block my voice, block my full creativity. And I started directing, so you got to use your voice, and it was a real emergence for me. And so, I'll show you around the neighborhood. I'll maybe go to the school and see the school, and we'll have a little nostalgic tour as we declutter and start our new lives, at 55. It's wonderful. It's exciting in a way. I think that anything that happens, if you can, for me, I have a great spiritual practice, a very beautiful spiritual community, and a great spiritual foundation where I'm able to, as Wayne Dyer used to say, the palm trees bend in the hurricanes, they don't break, And so if you see me, I'm upbeat. I feel very optimistic. I've had great clarity. I feel greatly connected to spirit, more than I've ever been, ever. So clear. I know I have a big mission in this world. I know that by speaking up and putting my GoFundMe out there and telling our story, like literally busted ass, so poor and still in deep recovery. No food sometimes, just really, really struggle. And when you have to tell your kids or, protect them from that, it's exhausting. And so going back to that story, many, many men over a certain age, let's say over 40, take the ultimate step, and they do commit suicide. Well, I felt on that age before that pressure of society, and I felt extremely embarrassed. And why haven't I got this? And many friends have a lot of money, a lot of abundance in that respect. Abundance comes in many forms. You might have a lot of money, but you might be lacking in other areas. So let's be clear on that. But you know what? Putting that out there, I put a very raw video out, very honest about our situation, where we've been, and then I just, I gave it to God, gave it up to the universe to say, look, you know what? Everything's taken care of. And it was very emotional and very challenging to do that, to put myself out there, as they say, stand naked to the world. And it was extremely brave, and I've had many people call me and tell me how proud they are of me. I'm proud of myself first. I'm proud of Graham, who did that. And I encourage many other men and women, whomever, people, to step up and step out. And this is a great emergence for me. I never was using my voice this clearly before. wasn't really until January this year it really fully blossomed because of a certain journey that I've been through. But the ultimate expression was just 4 days ago of putting this GoFundMe campaign out there. Like, I can't tell you enough. This journey is phenomenal. Life is beautiful. My kids are everything. So are all your kids. Everyone is special. Everyone is unique. I want the very best for everyone. I want the very best for my children. I love them dearly. We've had a beautiful life here. We've had a really, really beautiful life here. Like, we've been blessed. I'm so grateful. I found myself. I was able to really find myself in LA. I didn't come to live in LA to be in the business. I was already in the business. I got in the TV business because that's what I dreamed of doing. It's been really challenging, but the life has been challenging as far as Graham finding his voice and finding out who I really am. I didn't think I was going to cry, but anyway, coming to LA 15 years ago, it felt like it was an emergency dash to get here, because I'd gone through another period of loss after developing a business there. Anyway, but I know I was guided here to find myself, my kids. My daughter told me the other day she had a great life, And we've never had an abundance of stuff. We haven't had multiple cars and trips all the time at all. But my eldest daughter is just so beautiful and powerful human being, and so is my son and my youngest daughter. And my wife, and my family, it's phenomenal. And I'm just so blessed. I'm so grateful to have come here and found myself. You understand, you need to really locate yourself, and that's the work. And I tell you, my kids are they're wonderful. We don't have a fancy type of life in that respect, but I believe that how I grew up, and my mother's fantastic, and I'm not saying I had a bad life, but certain things happen, My father was absent, completely gone, but my kids had a different experience. So I'm grateful, blessing you all. Stay tuned, the journey continues. And here's my son with his, poor bugger, with his sore foot. Okay, blessings, thank you very much. We'll stay in touch on the journey.